Hello, I am Eloise and this is my channel, and I haven't filmed in like a month, so I am so out of the loop. I did some pre-recording so that you would have videos all throughout my holiday. You are welcome. So I have created this really glamorous, easy to achieve look. I've done a wing and a bold lip, and I'm literally obsessed. I wore this look quite a lot on holiday and it's so quick and easy to achieve, so I thought, why not recreate it for you guys? If you would like to see how I created this look, then please keep watching. So apologies if you can hear my dad's hedge trimmer. He clearly decided to do it right at the moment I was about to film, so hopefully you can't hear that when I come to edit it. I have prepped my skin with my Kiehl's bits and bobs. If you don't know what they are, where have you been? That's all I go on about at the start of every video. So I am going to use a little concoction today. So I'm going to mix a tiny bit of the All Nighter foundation by Urban Decay with the Naked Skin One and Done by Urban Decay. Reason being, I don't want too full coverage today, and I think the bold features of this look are going to be the wing liner and the red lip, so I want the skin to look really soft and natural and glowy and beautiful and sun-kissed. As soon as I hopped off the plane from my holiday, I lost my tan, so I'm just going to try and recreate it. So I'm using the shade 5.0, I'm going to use one pump and one pump of the Naked Skin, and then I'm just going to take a flat brush, mix that all up, and then just stripe it on my skin. I'm very aware that my face is not this colour, but my neck kind of is, so we'll just roll with it. I'm just bouncing that into the skin. And the trick with sort of seeing if I haven't filmed in so long, I don't even know how to speak anymore. I still want to be able to see my freckles is what I'm trying to get at. But honestly, I've had the best 2 weeks of my life. It's so sad coming home because I just miss being on holiday. If you haven't been to Croatia, oh my god, I would defo recommend it. It was incredible, so stunning. I literally couldn't get over the view from our balcony. So our bed was right where the balcony was. So it looked like you were on a boat because all you can see when you wake up is sea, and it was just beautiful. So yeah, if you haven't been to Croatia, go. And also, this little guy decided to sabotage me today. Now, I've been really enjoying this NYX cream contour palette. These are just such a good shade for cream contour. So I like to mix these two together with my highlighting diffusing brush by Urban Decay, and I literally just stamp in there a couple of times. I just wanted to tap it off then, but no, it's cream. And just with a really light hand, I'm just popping that where my cheekbones are, and I'm bringing it quite far forward into my cheeks. Because I've got a square face, I want to sort of soften, so bringing it in straight rather than downwards lifts my face up, so that looks really nice and soft. So if you've got drier skin and you don't want to be wearing powder bronzer or powder contour, I would definitely recommend this palette, because I find some cream contours disappear into nothing, but this is just so good. And the colours are really good as well, and it's great for a working makeup artist because you get all these colours. Not that I touch the top row, but they're refillable as well, so if you run out of one of them, or if you just wanted to make this all into a cream contour rather than a cream contour and highlighting palette, they're really cheap. I think they're about £3.50, £4 for a pan, which is amazing. And I find some cream contour lifts your foundation, but this one doesn't. It just works together and melts beautifully. And the reason I like to put cream contour down first is because sometimes I feel my powder bronzer and contour just disappears at the end of the day, so this just gives me a longevity. And this is sort of what I was doing on holiday, because if I didn't fancy putting powder on, I've still got that really nice bronzy look. My face matches my neck now. I don't know why, but my face just is not tan ever. It's honestly almost impossible to get my face to tan. I don't know why. Anyway, so I'm going in with my trusty Naked Skin concealer in the shade Light Warm, and I've not been putting as much on lately because I watched a video and it made perfect sense. And obviously I get quite a lot of creasing underneath my eyes, so the more product you put under there, the more it's going to crease. If that product's got nowhere to go, where's it going to go? It's going to settle into your fine lines. So I've just sort of been putting it here. And I also watched another video. Some people like to put it, well I used to put it all up until about here. Cream products spread, so you're just wasting your product because this is going to spread out to about here. So I literally just put the tiniest amount of concealer on now because one, it's not going to settle into my fine lines as much, and two, it's going to spread, so you're not going to waste as much product. So I'm going to take my damp beauty sponge. This is the Real Techniques one. It's very, very dirty. Don't judge me. And I'm just going to blend in the chin, the forehead and the nose first, because like I normally do, I like to let that set into the skin a little bit longer just to add more coverage. You see, that one tiny line that I did has spread to about here. So let's stop wasting our products, guys. And I'm just taking tiny patting motions. I still want the coverage to be there, so I don't want to be patting it away to nothing. And you see that's spread all the way out to here. Now I'm taking my little dense Real Techniques brush. I'm going to take my Maybelline matte maker. Anyway, so I'm tapping off the excess and I'm really pressing that in underneath my eyes. And I'm going to puff my cheeks up so it sets my laugh lines. And I'm almost baking with this brush because I'm putting excess powder there, and then I'm going to wipe it away. And this sort of helps the foundation to not settle into those lines throughout the day. Okay, so now I'm going to take a fluffy brush and just dust that away. I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't actually set all of my face. I literally just target those areas that are a concern for me. So creasing or anywhere that I get oils. So I tend to get a slightly oily forehead, not that it bothers me, so I don't actually go thank you. So right outside the window, which is bloody fantastic, before he starts again. So I like to target those areas. Not that an oily forehead upsets me. I really like it when my oils start to shine through because I think it looks really, really healthy and glowy. So yeah, cool. So we are all powdered and now we just need to highlight and bronze up. So I'm going to take my large Real Techniques fluffy brush and this little Ofra highlighter in the shade Blissful. I only got a mini one of this one because I'll only be using it when I'm slightly more tanned, because it's one of those highlighters on my skin tone. You get that cast from the front of your face, if you know what I mean. So I go in with the tiniest amount and then I will brighten it up with another highlighter. So I always like to have a, oh my god. Do you see what I mean? You can see that cast from the front. So if I didn't brighten it up, this just would be the complete wrong shade for me. I really love it, it's so pretty. And it's perfect when I've got more of a tan. And I'm sure all of you know by now why I like to do my highlighter before my bronzer. And it is because I feel like if I did my bronzer first, it would be very, very obvious when I put my highlighter on top, because it would leave that streak. Whereas if I've got it down first, I can blend the bronzer up into the highlighter and then pinpoint certain areas where I want it to really stand out, my highlighter, for my highlighter to really stand out. So I've just highlighted on my cheekbones really roughly and really diffusing it, and in my forehead, because I love it when the sun hits my forehead and it looks beaming. I love that. So I'm going to leave that for a second and I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay Shapeshifter palette in the shade Medium Light. And I'm just going in with this one at the moment, and then afterwards I'll go in with the bronzier one. This is what I've been doing at the moment. And I like to bring my bronzer really far forward so you can see it from the front. And then I'm taking a little bit of that bronzier shade and I'm just flicking that into the back of my cheekbone so that there's a little bit more definition there. And then I really like a bronzy forehead, so I'm going a little bit more ham with that. I'm going to quickly do the other side. And then if I've gone a little bit crazy with the bronzer anywhere, I just take my fluffy powder brush and just flick it back a little bit. just so that it all diffuses into the skin. Now into the highest points of the cheekbones. So I like to go in with my Ofra highlighter in the shade Glazed Donut. This is such a beaming highlighter, you literally need nothing. I'm gonna literally tap and tap off the excess, and I just like to pop it right in the front section. And it almost gets rid of that cast for me. Wow! I just can't. Just on the tops of the brows. And I've actually been taking a tiny little bullet brush to do my nose recently. I want it to be a little bit more concentrated. So I do a little dot on the top of the nose and just blend that in with my finger so it's not so stark. And then I like to go just to about there with the highlighter and blend that in with my finger as well. On the tops of the lips. Honey. Love that. Okay, so I'm gonna wait until the end to see if this look needs blush, because I don't want the blush to take away from the red lip. So now I'm just gonna zoom you in so you can see sort of my new brow technique. So as usual, brush through my brows, and I've discovered a slightly quicker way of doing them. So I'm taking my NYX micro brow pencil in the shade Brunette, and all I like to do is underline, really defining that arch. It doesn't matter how messy it is because we're always neating it up with some concealer. And I like to elongate my brow tail as well. And then I just like to flick upwards. This is literally half of my brow filled in. And then I'll go in with my trusty Urban Decay Subversion. And as usual, flick up and out. And I've actually been pressing down. They stay flat. I don't know why it looks like orange on camera. I found that because my hairs are so fair, they were sort of sticking outwards. Look at the difference in my brows. When you fluff your brows up, you get so much more and they look so much fuller and more thick. I'm just gonna go in with some brow mascara by NYX and just fill in anywhere that needs a little bit more tint to the brow hair. And then using the pencil to sort of neaten up any areas. So that is one flaky brow. And then I'm just gonna carve it out and prime my eyes. And I'll be right back. I've just primed my eyes with the eyeshadow primer in the shade Eden by Urban Decay. I just feel like this is giving me a much brighter base. It's more of a yellowy undertone than Enigma. So yeah, that's what I've used. And I'm literally, just because we're doing a really simple eye today, it's very, very simple but like glam. I'm just going to put something in my crease. So I'm going to use the Kristen Leanne Daydreamer palette by Urban Decay. I think I'm just going to use my Zoeva 228, something really big and fluffy, and I'm going to go in with the shade Daydream and Subscribe. I'm just going to pop that in there. You could use your bronzer. I just want to give my eyes a little bit of depth because right now they look so flat. A really nice tip is if the brush is in the palm of your hand, that's where you should be holding it. Also, 2 fingers not on the handle really helps you to blend and give you those really soft diffused edges. So I'm just being really messy with this. Doesn't matter too much. I literally just want a little bit of dimension. So you can see the difference between this eye and this eye. So I'm gonna do the same on the other eye. Okay, so now that that's really nice and soft, I'm just gonna grab a liquid liner. This is the NYX Matte Liquid Liner, and I'm gonna try and do a wing on camera. What I like to do first is create a line on the lash line. Like that. So it's nice and thin, so I can thicken it up if I need to. If you go in too thick, you can't go back. So I'm gonna relax my eye, because if we do it like this and we do a beautiful wing and then our eyelid goes down, it's gonna literally look so distorted. Yeah, it's best to have your eye really relaxed so that you can see exactly what you're doing, where your crease ends here. This is the most important bit of the eye, where you place your wing next to your crease, because that is what's going to make it look different to when your eye is closed or like this to when it's like. What I like to do first is my underneath line. So I like to go in really short strokes, and then I'm going to dip back in, and I'm going to join the ends up. And this is where you can raise your eyebrow. It's a little bit easier so that everything's nice and tight. And then I'm just filling it in. And then at this point, you can thicken up, you can neaten any lines. So I'm just making mine a little bit longer, and I just want to make it a little bit thicker here. And it's different for every single eye shape. With my eye shape, they're quite almond, so I like the thickness to sort of start from the centre. So it's much thicker here than it is here. But yeah, that is your wing. I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to do my mascara, stick some lashes on, and then I'll be right back. So I completely forgot, but I like to use a big fluffy brush to bring that colour underneath as well. So I'm just going to quickly do that. I always put something underneath my eyes because it helps to disguise my wrinkles. And I feel like it makes the eyes look bigger as well because you've got that shadow underneath there. Okay, red lip time. Red lip can be so hard to get right, but as long as you've got a good pencil. So Cupid's Bow first. So this is the Urban Decay Glide On Lip Pencil in the shade 714. It is the perfect red, oh my god, and it stays on forever. I've literally gone to work, eaten my lunch, drank all day, and it has stayed on for like an 8-hour shift. It's ridiculous without even being topped up. So anyway, so now I'm going to join up the corners of my mouth, and because a red lip is so bold, you need to get the shape so perfect. So if that means overlining just so that a corner of your mouth is a little bit more in check, then do that. So that's as perfect as I can get it, and now I'm going to move on to the lower lip. And I like to tighten it just so it's easier. And these lip pencils are so good because they literally set down. If you've got that underneath your lipstick's going to last so much longer. I'm just going to fill this in, just really roughly. And then I'm going to take the corresponding Vice lipstick in 714. This is a mega matte formula, so it's way more matte than a comfort matte. I still find them really creamy, and that is literally the most perfect red lip. I just love that colour. Ooh, ooh. Right. Let's zoom you out. So I just quickly nipped off and did some, you know, little curly bits. I think they look really cute. This was literally my go-to holiday hair because I think it looks so glam, and it literally takes me about 5 minutes. So it was perfect for me. And just to finish this look off, it wouldn't be without the all-nighter setting spray. So let's lock this in place for 16 hours. I also love spritzing this all over because it really melts all the powders together. It gives that really airbrush finish. Now, I don't know about you, but I am feeling Marilyn Monroe vibes right now. I love this look so much. I hope you do too. This is just such an easy, quick, glamorous look to achieve. A wing and a bold lip is all you need to feel glamorous and fabulous and like you are living your best life. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a huge thumbs up, subscribe and all that jazz. I'm Eloise, this is my channel, and I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.